Let's see if they'll last a little bit longer.
Well, one would hope so. We're really hoping to see the best of 3 here. No matter what happens, we do want to see full maps. And we got the full shebang-a-bang in the previous matchup. 7-4 going the way of Cloud9 on Bank. And now we're going to be heading straight into Clubhouse. Thatcher being banned out early. No surprises there.
No, same ban as the last map. And look, it's a strong ban. And I think Nora definitely understood how to utilize that ban. But C9, man, they just adapted so well here. They are going to ban the Capitao on attack, also quite a common ban, and definitely on Clubhouse he's very useful, especially to stop things like the bandit trick at the Kennel's wall, so good to take him off the board will make defending a little bit easier.
There's a ban we see somewhat regular in the APAC region. You know, Capitao, not really someone that we want to be seeing in the server, no less, but Nora-Rengo, once again, we are going to be heading straight into the attacking side for Cloud9. They had a good start to their attacking, rather a good finish to their attack on Bank. We'll see whether they're going to take over this kind of confidence in toward map 2.
Yep, Nora-Rengo starting on defense too, so that's a strong start for them. Defense usually favor-sided on Clubhouse. With these bans, I think Nora-Rengo definitely going to try and close out as many rounds as possible here on the defense. They're going to want to start strong, and they're going to start at CCTV Cash Room.
So that's somewhat common? You happy with that?
Yeah, pretty common first pick. CC or Church, usually the first 2 bomb sites to go between.
We'll be seeing the Maverick board in. I feel like we don't actually see Maverick, well, especially in the APAC region from what we watch. We don't see him survive the ban phase most often when we're on Clubhouse. Quite a useful operator to have on the attacking side.
So many bomb sites where Maverick is just very helpful on Clubhouse. It's not even just Church where you need to open a lot of hatches and potentially that Church wall. It's also CC. If you're having issues with that bandit trick, you can just use the Maverick to open that wall. That is so many uses for him. So seeing that come through and seeing C9 pick it, I think is very big. So good to see they're comfortable with Maverick, and Nora-Rengo are going to have to be ready to counter that here. They've got a very classic defense lineup for this bomb site. They're going to be using Meryu to try and deny that wall that we've been talking about so heavily. And also Maestro is so critical on this bomb site with the intel, but also the Older is able to hold down CC so strongly in that late round.
That was actually, if I remember correctly, that was what Aerowolf won off the back of a 1v2 clutch with the Older, so...
It definitely was.
So, you know, your points being made, and Cloud and Clear as well. Yoshingo on the other side of the second floor over towards Gym, so just hanging around for now. We do see quite often a bit of presence being shown across toward that jacuzzi wall, backing away, not really putting too much attention there, but Eddie opening up the hatch nice and early, might put a bit of pressure, might back them away earlier. Here comes the use of that Maverick. Try to deny the option for the bandit trick. Oh. Cool. Nope. Nothing today. Fair enough.
Got there.
We got there in the end, but now that bandit trick is all that much harder.
Yeah, they're not really going to be able to bandit trick this now, so this wall can get open, and it looks like Sweet Black is probably going to get into a position ready to open the wall. Meryu has rotated below though, so C9 will have to be careful here. It's a very strong position to be holding in Lounge, especially for late round. You can deny the plant quite easily anywhere in CC, if completely uncontested. So C9 will have to flush out positions in Garage and really be able to hold off that person in Lounge.
A lot of opening being done for Nora-Rengo. That is going to be Racial finding the opening. No trade just yet. Oh my word, Nora-Rengo double, triple down and already on the side. Gatsang falls, and my word, a flawless round to come through. That was super quick.
Yeah, we wanted to about strong starts. I don't think you can start stronger than a flawless round. Well played by Nora-Rengo. They just still had so much control for that entire round, and C9 just kept pushing into them. Not a whole lot that they could really do. Well played by Nora, and it's a great start, and we'll probably see them not go to Church, actually, I was about to say. They're going to go to Gym Bedroom, so they're going to clear this top floor first, and then they're going to use Church later.
Across to the other side of the second floor. Buck being brought. No Maverick this time. Don't really typically see Maverick being brought in that situation. Alibi?
Alibi is an interesting pick.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I do enjoy seeing Alibi being played in any sense. Bit of an Alibi main. I'm just one of those scrubs.
Oh, you're that guy.
I am that guy in every ranked match ever.
So
In Copper or whatever.
the Alibi pick is, it's not common, but we have seen it used for this bomb site before. In fact, the team that comes to mind for the Alibi pick on this bomb site is Fnatic. They often had a very common strat they used when holding this bomb site. They held CC cache quite heavy. They had a shield in front of that cache door, and they played Alibi Prismas all around it, and they had this long angle crossfire, so it was incredibly difficult to take cache off of them. Looks like C9 have maybe adapted something similar to that. They're putting these alibis in common pre-fire spots in CC, which will slow down the attackers taking that section of the map, which is usually what you will try and do as a big part of this attack. The other big part is the spar deck wall.
Yes.
So we'll have to see what they try and do to deal with that. Mary can deny that wall.
Well, like you said, I don't really need to echo it, but Cache CC will be held pretty strongly, I would suggest. But at the same time, they don't even have to overcommit to that Cloud9, because just purely having the presence there will ensure that Nora, if they wish to go that side, are going to have to completely, rather the other way, if Cloud9 wish to go, they're going to have to completely clear it out.
A bomb has been located.
They're getting a nice long angle to the roof. He just missed one across that position. Unfortunate timing for Papilia, but still a good angle that he can utilize later on. Catstang is about to expose himself to that angle, so Papilia could be getting the pick. He can't quite see him past the tree. Unfortunate there, but anyway, it's 2 minutes to go, and looks a bit stalled out here. They look like they do want to take from that side across, but they're going to come up against a lot of difficulties. They have opened the spar deck wall, so that's a great start, and they're going to have to cut these rotates back, and that's one thing, is Papilia is off-site now, so if C9 become aware of this, which they might about to be because of this drone, yes, they know he's here now, so he can be cut off-site relatively easy from this position. It depends where he rotates, but C9 so far not too bad. Nora, they're going to have to get ready for this push because it looks like C9 are almost ready.
That should be, no, not going to be close enough. Maybe held for a second. No, actually that's only done the slightest bit of damage. Rachel not going to be wasting any time with Smoke Babes. Down they go. Like you said, I think Cloud9 have made relatively good time, all things considered. Nora-Rengo were in some very peculiar positions. They've been able to make it work, though. It is Papilia with the kill onto Ward Nova, so that will be Nomad taken down. It's all Catstang with a nice read, but an even nicer shot from Papilia. Still got another to go, but he will be traded out, and now they might actually just try to explode on this. Envy Taylor is pretty much left with everything in his hands. A 1 versus 4, 50 seconds left on the clock. Raven, Nora-Rengo have doubled down here.
They really have Manic, and they will take that round. Papilia and Meriu really stepping up for them, and that is something that I think Nora need to lean on now. Meriu and Papilia, commonly the big players for their team, and if they start really pulling from the front, it might really have a good flow-on effect for them.
Well, let's make sure that we head to a third map, right? So we're not really biased, but we do want to see a third map. We want to see this go the full distance. Heading down toward Church. 2 successful defenses. No wall denial, or so it seems. Thermite and Maverick as hard breaches.
They've got the Bandit there to deny the walls.
There
at
we
least,
go,
but,
came through in the end.
Yeah, look, again, that Thatcher Band really coming into play. It makes it so much harder to attack. There's a lot of utility that you have to deal with in difficult ways without an EMP grenade. So Nora-Rengo really taking advantage of that Thatcher ban, which was their ban. So going well for them.
I mean, if you're going to have it, you're gonna make sure that you manage to capitalize on it at the very least. Early on in map number 2, Nora-Rengo seemed to be well and truly confident. A flawless round in the first. 4 players alive in the second. Cloud9 have not had an answer. They've been able to maybe find a little bit of progress in opening up walls. We saw them open up CCTV. We saw them open up the jacuzzi in that second, but they've just been able to get nothing done after.
Yeah, they've been really stalling out. Again, it could be because of that Thatcher ban, but I think in general, they seem a little unsure with their attacks. I'm not really sure whether that comes down to Nora-Rengo's roaming or whether it's just that they aren't really comfortable attacking on Clubhouse. Gotta say, sometimes Clubhouse really does go this way with defenses. We've seen a lot of matches that go, well, I mean, a perfect example was the last match, Fnatic Aero. Aero were up 5-0. That was actually not on defense though, but it seems to happen a lot on Club, right? Teams get these big leads, and then it seems to sway back the other way. So it could just be something similar here, but so far, C9 have struggled with these attacks here, and they're looking like to make some good pace for this church attack. The fact that they've already got this kind of map control. Heady's covering these main sets from a fantastic angle, I must say.
Yep.
So good start so far. There is a roamer they have to deal with here.
I feel like there's always something for Nora-Rengo to give them a little bit. Oh god. At least they managed to fix it in the end, but Sweet Black will now convey the Shingo in the odd position, and that's exactly what we were talking about. There was an opportunity to catch that flank, that rotate out, and that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah, we're going to have to see some hatches getting opened here, and if they don't, it's going to be a very, very, very difficult to execute. Heady's going to make some renovations on this floor so that they can't play deep Arsenal. Every Taylor did actually get down by Meryu. That's a very aggressive peak, and that's the Mavericks. So that is some hatches or hatch that won't be able to be opened up, and one can only hope they've still got some thermite breaches so that they can actually open some of these hard walls. We hear one going down. That sounds like it's the Moto hatch. Nova's pushed very deep here, so they're starting to get some progress made, and Nora are going to start being pushed into this church side and have to turtle a bit, and it's really going to come down to how Cloud9 can explode onto the side and whether they can clear out those defenders before they can get the plant down.
Well, Nova with a little bit of control. Just trying to unsettle Nora in a sense. Oh, no, that's not it, Chief. That's all right. Fixed up in the end. Now getting a little bit more information. Here comes that grenade. Oh, no! That's a horrible mistake made by... Oh, it's a double! No! Oh, it is falling to pieces here for Cloud9. It's only Nova again, and my goodness.
Uh-oh.
This, the tiniest of details, and it's all gone head up.
Oh, Manic, we talked about the pressure being shaken off by them finally winning their first map of APAC land as Cloud9, and so far this clubhouse has been all shake.
No bake?
No bake. No bake, that's for sure.
Oh, geez, Envy. This is just,
that
that is horrible. I thought it was bad enough just dropping yourself down, but to take a teammate with you.
Yeah.
Tut, 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 hey?
Not good, not good, but that is a clean sweep of sights from Nora-Rengo. They will head back to CCTV cash room, and C9, they just have to completely shake off those last 3 rounds. They definitely were not great showings at all. And if I were them, I'd just forget they ever happened. Let's get the next 3, even out the half, and they can really focus on their defenses.
Well, I can tell you right now, Nora might have heard us because they are answering a lot of the questions that we left up in the air right before we hopped into this matchup. They've made an absolute statement here on their map pick, and thought maybe Cloud9 had upset Japanese squad, but it turns out they're not having a bar of it.
It's a very similar setup here from Nora-Rengo, not looking to change it a whole lot. And they definitely should feel confident with how these bomb sites played out the last 3 rounds. Not just did they win the rounds, they were strong rounds. So good to see that Nora-Rengo aren't trying to change it up too much and really create more issues for themselves than they realize. So Cloud9 are going to have to make some adaptations. Could be with how they play. Their operator lineup, very similar. They've got the IQ to help them identify a lot of this intel, and look, they have to get this Kennels wall open as quick as possible, and that'll really put the biggest amount of pressure early onto Nora-Rengo.
Yep. Dare say we'll see quite the similar play style from the Maverick here, but Pilya not going to be looking for that engagement either. Does see a foot, so some damage, yeah, a fair bit of damage actually being transferred over toward Marvi, and here it comes. Papillia drops down to find the kill, but now they're going to try to isolate and take down these bandit batteries. No one can no one can contest that. The IQ is gone.
Yeah, the IQ, it's not great being gone. Hopefully he found some Valkyrie cams. Besides that, though, not a whole lot the IQ would have really added to what's happening with the team right now. What they really need is to get this Kennel's Wall open. Almost half the round gone. Wall is still closed. It's something that we actually saw Fnatic utilizing very well on their attacks in Clubhouse. That Kennel's Wall was getting opened so quickly. It puts so much pressure on the defense, and we do finally see it go open now. So half the round played out. This wall is open. Marvy's been tagged low, and besides that, C9 need to make a little bit more progress here. It doesn't look very set on where exactly they're pushing. I'm not quite sure whether they're going to try and take this garage, which will be very difficult because of the way it's being held, or whether they might try and rotate and try and counter push.
Nice flashes to come in for some support. It will allow Hetty to start to make a little bit of leeway back into toward Garage. Papilia not really fussed about any of the action that's being made by Cloud9. That is going to be a trade coming through. Envy Taylor not ending out on the positive side of that, but it's actually a kill for a kill. So fair enough. Smoke to come through. Shingo will be able to take down Hetty. It's not looking good for Cloud9 right now. They've got two players coming from the exact same position. There's no pressure on Nora. All they've got to do is sit, bide time, wait for them to push through the crosshairs. Sweet Black's made it through, but not unscathed. Katsang makes it possible. Nearly hits the shot as well, but it is going to be another successful round there for Nora-Rengo, and this is just such a dominant defensive side.
Looking very strong here for Nora-Rengo, and Cloud9, they just look a little bit stuck. They look like they're not really sure, or they're a bit scared about how to actually deal with things. They had a really good position to flush out that person on the rafters in the garage. They had the buck below. I'm not 100% sure whether he had a frag grenade, but that's a really common way to flush it out. You have the buck come in from garage, get below, throw the frag grenade, clear the position. But they had that ready, and nothing really eventuated from it. So it really started to fall apart for them. And they are going to call a tactical timeout here. They've resided to the fact that this map is not going well for them at all, and they need to reset.
I mean, at this point, you're a coach, Raven, so you can see from a different perspective, right? What are you doing if you're Cloud9 right now? 4-0 down, you've won the first map. It wasn't the most convincing of first maps. Nora-Rengo did look pretty good in that first half, but they started to shut it down in the second. You come into map 2, you have literally been stomped out every single round. Nora-Rengo with 4 players left alive in all 4 rounds. What's going through your mind? How are you fixing this? What are you saying to your team?
Look, I think I'd be just making sure they're not overly demoralized. I think especially that round where there was that double team kill, you don't want that to carry through to the further rounds, but also I think they just need to dramatically change things. I think every round they have tried to do this methodical push that Nora-Rengo has stalled out, and they basically just stall and die, and that is a big issue. And I think they just need to change it up dramatically by changing the pace, trying to do something a little offbeat. It's clear that Nora is strong on defense here, so they're just going to have to try and do something very special on attack. I don't think it's the time to just stick to what's happening, because it's not going to change anything.
Love to say indeed, but shout out to your boy Guz. So, you can actually see where... yeah, just waiting for it. You had to do it to me. You had to do it. We're now heading across toward German bedroom. This was... I feel like a lot of this round was Papilia just constantly being a nuisance over towards Garage and CCTV, never really allowing Cloud9 to set anything. I believe they had Jacuzzi Wall open at almost 2 minutes. They'd done well to get that open quite quick, but after that, it just fizzled out. They got picked one by one, and one trade was all they found.
Yeah, absolutely. Those rumors really wreaked havoc, and they weren't really able to do a whole lot. They got stuck on that Windows balcony there, we see, on the south side of Clubhouse, and yeah, just got picked off. And they, again, I think they really just need to up the aggression. Maybe have, even if it's not real confidence, they have to show some confidence. So I think Nora-Rengo really smelled the blood in the water. They can see that C9 are a bit hesitant. They can see that they're taking their time. And I think the way Nora are playing this defense with this roam, they're just running rings around them. So C9 have to break that pattern.
Relatively off-site for now, with again another cash-heavy presence from the Valk, and also to the... It's not actually the Valk, sorry. The Valk is in construction, but still off-site. Nora happy to try and contest for the eastern side over toward Cash CCTV. Cloud9 doing a good job at not wasting too much time in opening up that wall, now giving themselves an opportunity to at least keep Nora at bay. Fighting on more than one front. Incredibly hard to try and take anything with you.
Yeah, they've done well to clear this utility and open both of those walls. So that's the thermite charges both being expelled and open the walls needed. So he essentially turns into Fragmite at this stage, or plant mite, whatever you want to call him. And they're going to have to think about how to deal with Racial, because this is a very strong position to flush out the people that try to push through Spartak. And look, the Alibi paying dividends over on the roam. That's Nova again on the IQ, the opening death. So this roam just really being hard to deal with for C9. They're not 100% sure what to do, and half the round gone. Not much control. We're seeing a very similar pattern again, Manic.
It's turning upside down at this point in time. Frag grenade will flush out Racial for a second, but in the meantime, Envy's gone down. It's just getting from bad to worse, and I hate using that phrase so often, but it really is. There's been no shining light here for Cloud9 whatsoever. Nora-Rengo doing what we expect them to do. Some early smoke bays being taken out. That's a nice frag grenade being used by Hetty there. So Racial down. Will be able to be picked up if they go for it, but they still need to be cautious.
Yeah, it looks like C9 is going to go for broke here. We saw 3 of them over there on the Spartak ready to push through. Mary will find 1 trying to bait out that push. And oh look, Sweetblack and Katsang get 2. Papilia shuts it down though, so it's a 1v3 for Katsang. Not a whole lot Katsang can do in this situation here. He's trying to get this pick onto the Valkyrie. He's going to try and rotate around and try and take some 1v1s. He can pick this one into Logi, but he looks away at the wrong time, and he's taken down another strong round for Nora-Rengo.
They are just so vigilant on this defensive side and ensuring that every time a player's found, every time there's a Nora-Rengo player down, there's a trade instantly. You saw there in toward the backside of Jim, the second they push into Jacuzzi to try and secure that kill, they're there. They're waiting. They're constantly on top of things here, Nora. And I sound like a broken record, but Cloud9 have no answer for anything. I mean, anything that Nora are doing.
Yeah, that round, it was very much the same as the last time they attacked that bomb site.
Yep.
I don't think a whole lot changed, and that's a bit of a concern. I really think they just need to, again, just do something very dramatic. They're bleeding rounds. There's no harm in losing the rounds by trying something super different. We just saw an interesting 6-pick here. 1-2. They're going to bring a portable wall to try and help them clear this roam, and maybe they're going to just push the Montaigne into the roamer's face, and maybe that'll help them out, not too sure. But yeah, they need to change something. They need to get this round, and they can focus on defense.
It is a shame that we've seen it change up so late in the first half, obviously being the last opportunity for Cloud9 to get a round on the board before Nora have a completely flawless first half. But we did see this with Fnatic earlier. Fnatic were down 5-0. They managed to bring it back 5-5. So it's not completely out of the realms of possibility for Cloud9, but just in the fashion that Nora have been able to manhandle them and bully them out of the server. My hope and my dream is slowly just fizzling away for them.
You're not wrong, and we will see the attack start here, and it looks like they are going to sweep across the map with this Montaigne. They're a bit worried about these roamers. Again, it looks like they're definitely trying to shut down the roam game of Nora-Rengo. Time could really go against them, though. If they take too long, especially with this Montaigne, he's not a swift-moving operator. So if they are using him for a roam clear, they're going to have to kind of speed it up a little bit. So,
Bit of a swole boy, isn't he?
He's a swole boy. He is literally a walking mountain. So, Envytaler has opened the dirt wall there with Maverick. So that's a good little entrance point that they can use later.
That, however, is not going to go too well, is it? There's the potential for the frag grenades. A little bit fizzled again. So options are just slowly swindling away for Cloud9. Now got to base it on where they're going to hit this attack from, realistically. Envy has to re-peek down in toward the tunnels. And they're doubling up here.
They seem very aware of this, don't they? Look, I think Cloud9, they have to just go for broke at this stage. It's really not working out well. Almost half the round ticked away. It's very clear that they know that this dirt flank is trying to come out. And they have no buck, so people can play safely in Arsenal without being flushed out of their positions. There's not really anything they can do for vertical play unless they dedicate some of Katsang's utility just to open that floor. So we see the Montaigne pushing down blue. So there's a bit of progress here. They might just go straight for side.
Envy as well starting to push in from dirt. He will be able to find the kill on the Shingo, so that's good. Now they've got to worry about two fronts, but Nova needs to try and get through the doorway or at least put the pressure back to Nora. It is a 4v4, so this is probably the most doable situation we've had. Korean side, Sweetblack takes down At least one. Nova still being caught back. The smoke comes through and again denying time, but a minute. Cloud9 have made such good timing on this.
They've definitely given themselves a lot of time. Every time pushes aggressively in and gets Racial. That is the smoke taken out. So it is up to Marvi as the anchor player here on the Maestro. He's concussed. Papilia finds one. 3v2 situation here, Manic. Sweet Black finds one. 3v1.
All but done and dusted, but still the hero, the savior, is still amongst it. Takes down NV Taylor. Papilia, nice read, but has to get past at least Nova. There comes the goo mine, so it could be a little bit frustrating. It's just going to be the impact trying to be shoved out. But there we go, around on the board for Cloud9 right at the end of the half.
The adaptation, the Montaigne, it really worked out for them. They had all the intel they needed. They could take their time to actually formulate something, and they hit their shots. So great to see that adaptation from them to get that last round. 5-1, end of the first half. C9 coming back.
That's it, you know, we do talk about them changing their strategy. NV Taylor hits the shot into Ward Dirt Tunnel and then finds another kill as well. So there's multiple different fronts that Nora-Rengo are forced to fight on. And again, I don't want to say it comes down to Jules, but a lot of the access that they were able to kind of free up, the space they were able to gain, it was on something as simple as finding the kills and finding the entries. So as we swap sides, what can Nora-Rengo bring to this second half? More, I think the better question is, what can Cloud9 bring to this second half?
Yeah, I think the pressure is definitely on Cloud9 to step up in this defense half of theirs. Nora-Rengo have really led from the front. Look for Papilia, 10 kills, only 2 deaths. He has been going so strong for his team. And yeah, the pressure really is on C9. We've still got 2 players on C9 that haven't found a frag yet. That is Nova, who is playing a Jaeger for this. So yeah, we're going to need to see some people step up.
Well, I guess if you're going to grab yourself some kills on that defense side, Nova might be the player to open up some certain passages. Obviously on Speedy Boy, might be able to find at least a kill, give themselves something more to work with. But Nora will definitely have to come with the full force here. Maverick being brought for what would assume to be the hatches, right? It's generally what we associate it with.
I think he definitely has to use it on the hatches now because they've brought the Kaid and there is no Thatcher because there's no Thatcher ban. So the only way they're going to be able to get those hatches open is if they somehow miraculously get in there and actually shoot that Electric Claw off the hatch, or they just use the Maverick. So I think that's definitely what we'll see with the Maverick, and they're going to try and use Papilia's utility to open something potentially more important, either an extra hatch or church wall, or both. Depends how it goes. Sweet Black playing a little aggressive on the main stairs here, potentially wanting to at least repel Nora-Rengo a little bit.
A gameplay. Gamer move, but we'll wait and see whether he sticks around or whether he lives to tell the tale, because half the time that is quite the dangerous position. I believe the Buck is going to be opening up that same passage down into the ward, that main stairs that we saw. I think maybe it was Nova bring when they went down in Church, obviously being able to go through the bar wall. It's a little bit more. So now we'll start to see an opening, 2 minutes in. Racial not wasting a hell of a lot of time, making sure that he's not overexposed while opening this as well. That was one of the kills that we saw Nora-Rengo confirm on Bank, was because of a small mistake that Cloud9 had made. NV Taylor, though, will be able to take down Papilia, the big hitter. That's the Thermite.
Frag.
This is huge.
That is a big frag at this stage. I didn't hear any exothermic bridge charges go off, so I don't believe he actually got to use any. He was trying to place it in kitchen. At the same time, Nova has now found Mirror. That is the Ash taken off the board, and all of a sudden, Nora-Rengo, they're up against the wall here. C9 really are taking it to them, and that's going to have to be something that Nora figure out how to adapt to, because they've got only a minute to go, and they haven't made a whole lot of progress besides that Moto hatch.
Now, straight through toward Church, but of course not really going to have to contest that at this point for Cloud9. They've realistically got everything they need in their hand. One of the hard breaches gone. I don't know how much Racial's got left on the blowtorch, so still enough. So okay, we've still got options here. We've still got options.
Yeah, he can definitely get into that dirt tunnel, for example, which is what he's going to go to do. And Yoshingo will find Nova. That's the Jaeger. That is the Kai taken off by Yoshingo. So now it's a 3v3, looking much more winnable for Nora-Rengo at this stage.
Oh, that's what we need to see from Hetty stepping up, but still on the buck. He could do some serious damage. 2 players fighting again on two fronts, but Racial, oh, this could be huge right now. Yoshingo's taken down one as well. Racial with the backstab. It's all on to Hetty in a 1v2 to pull this back for Cloud9. It was looking so doable. He'll get the information. He'll try to peek on the Nora-Rengo, but once more, Nora come through, and by golly gosh, that is some noise.
That is a lot of noise, and they energetic. They've just secured 6-1, which means they are on match point for this map. If they are to lose 5 rounds in a row, we'll go to overtime, but they are on match point right now. So C9, the stakes couldn't get any higher for this map. They have to not make any mistakes and get 5 rounds. And that was looking good at the start.
Yep.
C9 opened that really well, but Nora-Rengo adapted perfectly. That flank coming out through the dirt tunnel really, I think it really changed how that round could have panned out.
Yep, a 3 versus 5, and fortunately enough, you know, Maverick hadn't used the second blowtorch on what might have been another hatch. Instead, they're able to make a different point of attack. This is looking very good from Nora-Rengo. 6-1. They had an all but flawless half in the first. And now the second, they're looking to shut it down with little to no contest from Cloud9.
Looks like not really many changes coming out for C9 here. And look, I think the operator lineup was pretty good for this side. I think generally the way they played it was pretty good for this side. I just think Nora really had that good read on the mid-round to late rounds, and that was the difference. So I think C9 just going to have to anchor in a bit better and try and have a bit more of an understanding of what Nora are doing to outplay them. So big stakes here for C9. They want to get this round and they want to keep this comeback coming, because otherwise Nora-Rengo will take this map and we will be going to the third.
So as said before, we've actually got 2 wall denials. I believe we still had the bandit in the previous as well. So without that Thatcher, it makes life a lot harder. You were saying that earlier when the band phase was showing. That is some really early contact coming through. Sweet Black looking to take the fight early onto the Ash. Mario, however, not too interested in continuing to force that issue. They don't want to drop down early either.
Some good timing so far from Nora-Rengo. Meru is holding that rotate back up, so Sweet Black not able to aggress on those main stairs anymore, unless he does hit his shot, but Racial will open this hatch, so very similar to the last round in terms of how this pacing is going, but C9 were able to get an opening kill a little early in the round, so if they aren't able to find that here, I dare say it's really going to be more difficult for them to really close the round out.
So Hetty this time is going to be ensuring that that front from Dirt Tunnel won't realistically be able to be pushed without a fight. The shotgun for close range as well, and the smoke babes. You can definitely deny enough time there to make Nora-Rengo sweat a little bit. Nice deny there coming through. Cat saying as well, but Marvi on the quick trade. Just like that, 2 not so important fraggers off the board. Rather important fraggers, but not so much for utility.
A bomb has been located.
Marvi's found himself a very strong deep position here into blue, which potentially C9 aren't aware of. He could catch a couple of them off guard, which could really open up this round for the execute. Katsang does seem quite aware, though, that someone's about to push him. He's very much ready to take this fight. With the Bailiff, though, I don't know. That Bailiff seems to not do anything but damage to a wall. Sweet Black will find Racial as Papilia trades back. It's 3v3, Papilia low on HP, so there's advantage there in favor of Cloud9. 50 seconds to go.
That's it. It'll slowly but surely put the pressure back on the Nora here. Cloud9 got 3 decent kind of holds here. They've still got the smoke babes up as well. Oh, but the peek from Marvi's perfect. They didn't realize that it was able to come through from there. Yoshingo's going to stick it as well. He holds down for 2. Cat saying nothing left but Hetty. A 1 versus 3. The smoke's done and dusted, and so are Cloud9 for map number 2. Nora-Rengo, they bounce back, and what a way to do so.
Well, that's clearly a big moment for Nora-Rengo as well. I mean, you can hear the noise that they're making. Obviously trying to fire themselves up.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's them to a T, right? They want to be energized.
Yeah, clearly. Okay, let's talk about Nora-Rengo, though. Going into that map, you know, you guys did say there's a very real possibility that they come back into this series. Quite evidently, they have done that. But surely you didn't expect a 7-1.
There is no way I expected a 7-1. I did expect them to take that map, and I wanted to toy with the idea that it could be a 2-0 for Cloud9. Maybe the first map in an APAC, well, the Pro League LAN would have been exactly what they needed, but apparently not. That's all I've got to say.
What about you, Raven? Is that a little bit more unexpected?
Yeah, I definitely thought that C9 were going to put up more of a fight than that. Nora-Rengo really just had their way with them. So, yeah.
It sort of feels like we're going back to that same storyline that we saw for Fnatic and for Aerowolf, where, obviously Aerowolf got off onto a good start. In this instance, it's Cloud9, and I will say in both instances, they are the underdog in a way. And then straight away, the favorite team comes back. They come into that second map. Not necessarily obliterate in the case of Fnatic, but I would say that 7-1 there was an obliteration from Nora-Rengo. Looking into the third map then, I mean, this still sort of feels like anyone's game. I've been trying to sell these storylines of, the grand finalists are going to come back, and then, well, that got destroyed in the first map of both series. Now we talk about a little bit of the scenario where maybe both the grand finalists go out in the quarterfinals. Again, now Nora-Rengo have proven why we can't sort of just read this one as such a black and white sort of a scenario. Yeah,
absolutely. And with the third map being Cafe, C9 looking all right on Cafe, but they did lose that to Wildcard, then Auglis at the Riley qualifier LAN a few months ago. So, look, they've had a shaky performance for that on LAN as well, so they're going to have to dig deep.
Yeah, Cloud9 failing to get out of the quarterfinals in all of the recent history of Pro League here for APAC. Is that maybe something that's weighing on their mind again, Rob?
Oh, it has to be. I think, we talked about how incredible the opportunity was when they swapped over to Cloud9, from Mantis. It was a big name to bring to the region, and with that brought a lot of pressure. It really was something that we were kind of expecting to weigh in a little bit, but I think that it's gone on a little bit too long now, and now questions need to be asked a little bit more. Why are we not seeing Cloud9 compete at these events? Why are we not seeing what we expected to see so early on this year, I feel?
Well, maybe jumping the gun a little bit, Rob, maybe not. It all depends on how this next map does go. Those are questions that we are going to look to answer shortly, though. We're going to head to a quick break, so don't go too far. Our final map of at least our second series of today coming up after this.